In today's video, we are going to make some lobster macaroni and cheese. I'm going to show you how to make this exact picture, so just keep watching. I'm going to show you how to do this. The very first thing that you want to do is choose your ounce of a lobster tail, whether it be a 9 ounce, a 10 ounce, depending on how much you are cooking. I am making a serving of 4, as you can see from the last clip, so I chose a 9-ounce lobster tail. So the very first thing that you want to do is, of course, clean, wash your lobster. Any kind of seafood, any kind of chicken, I wash everything in lemon juice, apple cider vinegar, and filtered water. So after you get it washed and clean, you're going to take some scissors. You're going to cut the bottom and the top. Use that as a guide, and then you're going to take a knife and you're going to cut it completely down the middle. So after you get it cut, you're going to remove the meat, and you're still going to look for any veins, because typically the smaller tails do not have veins, but you still want to look for them. So you want to reserve the shells. That is very important for you to get the same image that I got. I used the shells as decoration. So after you get the lobster meat out, what you're going to do is cut medium to large chunks. You do not want extra large chunks, because you do want it to be bite-sized. You want to be able to taste the lobster meat, but you also want to be able to taste that macaroni and cheese as well. And I always say you never want one thing to overpower the next thing. And you definitely don't want really small pieces either, so just keep it, medium to large. So after you get done slicing, cutting up the lobster meat, the next thing that you're going to do is you're going to take your pasta shells that you have boiled, rinsed off, and you are going to season them. I tell people all the time, please season your pasta shells when you're making macaroni and cheese. I will leave a link in the description of me making macaroni and cheese, so you can use it as a guide as well as the recipe. So after that, you are going to take your cheese sauce. Again, I'll leave the link in the description to when I made macaroni and cheese, so you guys can see exactly how I made this. Everything is explained in that video, and again, the recipe will be down below in the description box. So you're going to take your cheese mixture first, and you are going to pour that over the pasta. Then you are going to fold it in. I tell you to fold it because you do not want to stir it. And you want to gradually add that cheese sauce in. Do not add all of it at one time, because you might not need all of it and you cannot take away, but you can always add to it. So after you get the cheese sauce folded in, you are going to add your lobster meat in. So when you get the lobster meat added in, you are going to follow the same technique, and you are going to fold it in. You see me doing it here, so please do exactly as you see me doing in this video. Next, you are going to grab your desired baking dish, and you are going to prepare it by either spraying it with oil or butter, or doing what I'm doing, as I took some softened butter and you can see me rubbing it in the pan. This helps it to not stick, gives you easier cleanup. So after that, preparing the baking dish, you are just simply going to pile in your lobster mac and cheese. So when you pile this in, you do not want it to be stuffed. You don't want it overflowing, if that's the best way to say it, is you do not want it overflowing. It shouldn't be a mountain. It should be evenly distributed. So just make sure that the whole dish is filled. There's no air pockets, there's no spaces. And after you get it filled, what you're going to do is take some Old Bay, and you're going to sprinkle that on top. You do not have to do that step. That step is optional, because the shells, the pasta does have Old Bay mixed into the seasoning mix, but I like to put it on top just to give it a little bit more flavor. And as you're doing this, you want to preheat your oven to 400, and you are going to take the lobster shells that I asked you to reserve just to keep it, and you are going to just put them on the ends of it. This is optional. You do not have to do this. I just did it because it made it look pretty. And another reason why I did this is because this is the way that you can tell that the lobster meat is done, when the lobster shell turns red. When it is pink, it is halfway cooked. When it is red, it is fully cooked. So after your oven is heated, you are going to go ahead and put this in the oven for 10 minutes at 400 degrees. And then you're going to remove it, and you are going to add some Italian breadcrumbs on top. As I said, when the lobster tails is pink, they are halfway, and when they're red, they are fully cooked. So after you add the breadcrumbs, this is optional as well. You do not have to do this, but this does add a nice crunch. So after that, you're going to cook it for another 10 minutes, and it is completely done. It should look exactly like this. You have just created some lobster macaroni and cheese. You can use this as a date night idea or of any course meal if you plan on cooking. Very simple and easy recipe. Again, everything is linked below. Let me know how you like this recipe, and I'll see you in my next video.